You are now part of a social experiment.
See now where my limit is. Only got no.
Walk us through your journey, from just starting off into where you were at with the Broward County Police Department.
What derailed my career, man, is the fact that I should have stayed in the jail. I should have stayed in the jail and never went to, and started working narcotics. The Broward Sheriff in 1990, the Broward Sheriff Office pulled me out, and I was working undercover. I was working for Drug Task Force OCD in the Cradle, within 1,000 feet of a school, 3 years in state penitentiary, and of course I'm watching. We used to do buy buses where we would take an informant and we would send that person into a certain particular location, and that individual, he has to be from that area, because if you take a person who's not from that area and you send him in there to make a drug transaction, there's a possibility that person's gonna lose their life. So we took individuals who grew up in that same particular area that was selling drugs and got caught, and we used them as informants. So the money that we gave them was marked money. The drug that we gave them, the cocaine rocks that we gave them, had a serial number on the Ziploc package. And we knew it was our drugs, we knew it was our money. And that person would go in there and he would make the transaction with the subject and come back and give us the intel. Right. And of course, that's when we move in and we bust them. And then once we bust them and put them in a paddy wagon, we get out and pose as undercover sellers.
Now, I just want to pause you right there. I was looking at a old New York Times article about the Broward County Police Department, and I just wanted to share this with you and ask for your thoughts. So they were one of the first, I guess, departments to ever make their own crack cocaine. So that was really interesting. So I wanted to read this quick article to you and just let me know what your thoughts are, and if you were aware that they were actually making their own crack. So it states, on the 7th floor of the Broward County Courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, the sheriff's office has been manufacturing crack. Sheriff deputies see nothing wrong with that. They use the crack, more than $20,000 worth of it, in undercover operations to arrest street buyers. None of the crack is actually consumed, since an arrest is made as soon as the crack is bought, the deputy said. But some members of the community are outraged, arguing that the police should not be in the business of manufacturing a substance that has become the very symbol of the drug epidemic in America. Crack is a potent and sometimes lethal derivative of cocaine. Some federal officials said they didn't know what to make of Broward County and their doing. As far as they know, they said it is the only police department in the country manufacturing crack. Defense attorney shocked. So the sheriff's office directed Randy Hillard, its chemist, to make some crack using 2.2 pounds of powdered cocaine seized in arrest. He created the crack rocks, each about the size of a pencil eraser. Each rock is about $10 for a bag. So that was the whole article. So I was really... it's interesting now to even hear that, police department is creating their own crack cocaine. So did you know about that when you first got in?
Absolutely. And that's what I spoke about. When you go to Google, you type in Broward Sheriff Office and make his own crack cocaine for drug sting, it's right there. It's right there. As a matter of fact, everything you said, they was cooking the crack over the courthouse on the 7th floor. And there was a deputy that was actually cooking the crack. And that crack was given to us to be sold in the street, which is entrapment.
So this is all happening. And then you notice that they are actually taking some of the money and keeping some of the money that from these drug busts and everything. Who were they taking the money from, and who were they kind of, busting and everything in these operations?
But what we did is, like I mentioned to you before, we sent informers into certain particular location with our crack rocks. And just as you just mentioned, the cocaine rock was about the size of my thumb, So these people, they looking for, yo, my nigga, you got them parlays? Because they talk parlays is the cocaine rock, which is big. That's what parlay mean, big. So anyway, we took these guys off the street, put them in a paddy wagon. We got out there and posed as undercover sellers. Sometimes we would tip our hat, or we'll take the towel off our shoulder. We was the first agency to create that song that came out, Bad Boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? We one who started cops here in Broward County.
Really?
Yeah, go back and do your research. We started that, you know? And of course, I'm watching these dudes, man, they planting drugs. Like one particular area that we was working at, you know, they were selling the cocaine. These cats were selling the cocaine rocks for like $40, $50, $60. The cocaine rock is only $10. So the commander would come to us and give us X amount of rocks. This is after we done arrested these guys and put them in a paddy wagon for them to be taken downtown to be booked. And then we get out there and pose as undercover sellers. I had 3 goals in my mouth and everything, man. You know what I mean? You would think I was the biggest thug, but like I said, I grew up in the hood, but I went out there to see because I always heard, you know, a lot of brothers say, man, they planting drugs on me. They beat me to the ground and taking money. And I'm like, come on, man. You know, the recidivism rate is constantly growing by a vast number. And you guys, this is everything you guys saying. So I wanted to go out there, you know, and see it with my own eyes to see if what they were saying was true and what these cats were saying was true, man.
So this is predominantly black men, right? That they're doing this.
Absolutely.
Too. Okay.
Absolutely, because don't take my word. You Google it yourself. 50 grams of crack is equivalent to 5 kilograms of cocaine, and you get the same amount of punishment, which is life imprisonment.
Right.
How is that? How is 50 grams of crack is equivalent to 5 kilograms of coke? For 1 kilogram of coke is between $25,000 to $30,000. The cocaine rock is $10. But they classify you as a chemist. And the only difference from what I was told is the baking soda.
Right.
So to be honest with you, you know, man, I spoke out against them. I told them, I said, you guys are no different than the one they just put in the paddy wagon. You guys should be going downtown yourself. They told me to mind my own business. I said, what you mean mind my business? You dudes are crooks, man. Because the thing about it is that once you make a transaction with a subject, you know, and the backup move in to arrest these individuals, the drugs are confiscated, the money confiscated, it goes in a manila folder. That folder has a red tape that says evidence with a seal. And if you and the sergeant has to sign off on it, you know, and so that nobody break that seal.
Right.
Well, they was leaving with thousands and thousands of dollars each and every night. And I told them, I said, you guys are no different than the one we just arrested. Y'all should be arrested yourself. And that's when they told me to mind my business. What you mean? What you mean? Mind my, man, listen, I went off on them cats, man.
So you brought it to your superiors?
Absolutely. I went to the sergeant, the lieutenant, the captain, and everybody else. And they did absolutely nothing. They did absolutely nothing. And then they told me, you know, you can't work out here no more. I said, I don't give a flying, you know what? We gonna put you back in the jail. I started in the jail. And what? They come after me, man.
Now with all of that, some people might say like, yo, man, you're going against all of these officers, man. This seems to be like what the Broward County Department was doing at the time. Like, why go against that system? Why not relocate, or why not, you know, why not be a part of it? What made you say that, yo, I'm not being involved in this and ready to go to war with these guys?
Because it was the right thing to do.